Have you ever noticed how some houses look perfectly beautiful today, yet you know they will look equally stunning 20 years from now? Creating a timeless home is the ultimate design goal, but it is incredibly easy to get distracted by whatever is currently trending on social media. Welcome to Interior Code. Today, we are diving into 10 essential tips that will help you build a warm, classic space that completely defies the passing decades. Let us explore these secrets. The biggest mistake you can make when moving into a new place is trying to force a design style that aggressively fights the original architecture. If you purchase a mid-century modern ranch, filling it with ornate Victorian furniture will always feel highly disconnected. Conversely, stripping all the character out of a historic brownstone to make it look like a sterile white box removes its soul. A timeless home works in harmony with its foundation. You must look at the bones of your property and let them guide your initial design choices. This does not mean you are trapped in a specific era. It simply means you respect the existing framework. Emphasize the original hardwood floors, restore the classic crown molding, and highlight the original fireplace rather than tearing it down for something trendy. When you work with your home instead of against it, the design feels deeply rooted and intentional. It creates a sense of permanence that fleeting trends cannot replicate. Historic homes look best when their unique quirks are celebrated. Even in a brand new build, you can establish this feeling by adding classic architectural elements like tall baseboards, picture rail molding, or solid core doors. These foundational details ground the entire space. They tell a story of craftsmanship that outlasts any passing fad. Before you buy a single piece of furniture, take the time to understand the language your house is speaking. Honoring that structural history is the absolute first step toward building an environment that feels authentic, incredibly warm, and permanently stylish. Fast furniture companies are constantly inventing wild, unusual shapes to capture your attention online. One year, low-slung bubbly sofas are everywhere, and the next, razor-sharp geometric chairs dominate the feeds. Buying into these micro-trends guarantees your living room will look completely outdated in exactly 3 years. To create a timeless foundation, your largest upholstery pieces must feature classic, proven silhouettes. Think of a beautifully tailored English roll-arm sofa, a structured track armchair, or a simple slip-covered sectional. These shapes have existed for decades for a very good reason. They are incredibly comfortable and visually balanced. When you invest your primary budget into these enduring styles, you build a safety net for your entire room. You can easily change the throw pillows, swap out the area rug, or paint the walls a different color, and the classic sofa will adapt perfectly to the new environment. I personally think this is the most underrated strategy for saving money long-term. You buy the right piece once, and it serves you faithfully for a decade. Do not let loud marketing convince you that a strange, asymmetrical couch is a good investment. Keep your heavy anchors grounded in tradition. Choose neutral, durable fabrics like a thick linen, a textured boucle, or a rich velvet. These materials enhance the classic shape and wear beautifully as the years pass. Relying on time-tested furniture silhouettes ensures your home maintains a quiet, dignified elegance, regardless of what the current design magazines are trying to sell you. A room filled entirely with brand new items straight from a catalog often feels incredibly sterile. It lacks the depth and history that makes a house feel like a real home. The secret to achieving that coveted, timeless warmth is mastering the art of the mix. You must deliberately pair modern, clean-line pieces with older, vintage items that carry a bit of patina. Placing a sleek contemporary floor lamp next to a weathered antique wooden dresser creates immediate visual tension and immense character. It proves that the room was curated slowly over time, rather than purchased all at once on a single Tuesday. A few years ago, I inherited a heavily scarred oak dining table from my grandmother, and pairing it with minimalist modern chairs completely transformed my dining area into something magical. Vintage pieces anchor a room with a sense of history. They bring soul into the environment through worn edges, faded woods, and classic craftsmanship. You do not need to turn your house into an antique shop. Even one or two well-placed older items in a room are enough to break up the monotony of new retail furniture. Hunt for vintage brass mirrors, old ceramic crocks, or heavily textured vintage rugs. These items tell a story. When you successfully blend different eras, you create an environment that belongs to no specific decade. This deliberate mixing is the ultimate safeguard against your home feeling dated, ensuring your spaces remain endlessly fascinating and deeply personal for years. If you want your house to feel timeless, you must eliminate materials that try to fake their identity. Luxury and longevity are intrinsically tied to authenticity. This means prioritizing natural, living materials that come directly from the earth. Solid wood, genuine leather, cool marble, unlacquered brass, and woven wool are the building blocks of a classic home. These materials share a magical quality. They age gracefully. A real leather armchair develops a beautiful, soft patina the more you sit in it. Solid brass hardware gently tarnishes and deepens in color where your hands touch it every day. A solid oak table gains character from small scratches and daily family use. Synthetic materials, on the other hand, do not age. They simply degrade. Plastic laminate flooring peeling at the edges, or fake leather cracking reveals a cheap foundation. Natural elements bring immense warmth and a grounded organic energy into your living spaces. They connect the interior of your home to the outside world. When you touch a heavy stone countertop or walk barefoot on a thick wool rug, your body registers the inherent quality. While natural materials often require a larger initial investment, their durability makes them vastly cheaper in the long run. They outlive synthetic alternatives by decades. By committing to real wood instead of veneer and true stone instead of printed quartz, you infuse your home with a genuine soul. Authenticity never goes out of style, and natural textures provide the ultimate timeless canvas for your life. Color trends are notoriously fickle. The bright mustard yellow or deep emerald green that looks so fresh today will inevitably feel heavy and exhausted in the near future. While it is fun to play with bold paint, the most timeless homes rely heavily on a foundation of layered, muted neutrals. This does not mean your house needs to be an incredibly boring, sterile white box. A sophisticated neutral palette includes warm taupes, soft creamy whites, earthy mushrooms, and deep charcoal grays. These subtle shades mimic the colors found in nature and provide an incredibly calming, gentle atmosphere. When you build your room around these quiet colors, you allow the textures and the architectural details to become the true focal points. A warm beige wall perfectly highlights the grain of a vintage wood cabinet. A soft cream sofa allows a beautiful piece of art to command the room. I firmly believe that keeping your hard finishes neutral is the absolute smartest design decision you can make for your peace of mind. You can always introduce rich, vibrant colors through easily changeable items like throw blankets, seasonal branches, or small decorative accessories. When your foundational palette is subdued and earthy, the room feels like a deep exhale. It creates a serene sanctuary that you will never grow tired of looking at. Muted colors possess a quiet confidence. They do not scream for your attention, which allows your home to feel mature, incredibly elegant, and eternally stylish regardless of the season. Heavy, aggressive patterns are the fastest way to date a room. Floral wallpapers from the 80s or the bold geometric rugs from the early 2000s immediately tell people exactly when the room was decorated. To avoid this timeline trap, a timeless home shifts the focus away from printed patterns and leans heavily into physical texture. Texture adds crucial depth and visual interest without overwhelming the eye. Instead of buying a sofa with a loud printed stripe, choose a solid fabric with a heavy, varied weave like boucle or a thick linen. Instead of an intensely patterned curtain, hang drapes made of rich, flowing velvet. You create a dynamic, engaging environment by contrasting these tactile surfaces against one another. Imagine a smooth, cool marble coffee table resting on a plush, chunky wool rug, sitting next to a sleek leather chair. The interplay of these different physical sensations makes the room feel incredibly luxurious and complex. It invites people to touch and interact with the space. If you do want to use patterns, stick to classic subtle variations that have stood the test of time. Think of a faint, small-scale herringbone, a delicate pinstripe, or a vintage faded Persian rug motif. These quiet patterns act more like textures than actual prints. By prioritizing how a room feels physically over how loud it shouts visually, you build a deeply comforting atmosphere. Heavy textures create shadows and warmth, ensuring the room remains universally appealing and beautifully layered for generations. Generic, mass-produced artwork is the enemy of a timeless home. Buying a large canvas from a big box store just because it perfectly matches the color of your throw pillows reduces your house to a furniture showroom. True elegance comes from displaying pieces that hold genuine meaning to you. A timeless home features art that tells the story of the people who actually live there. This means taking your time to collect pieces slowly. Frame a beautiful sketch you bought on a memorable vacation. Display a moody vintage oil painting you found at a local flea market. Blow up a black and white architectural photograph of your favorite city and place it in a massive, high-quality frame. Meaningful art acts as the soul of the room. It sparks authentic conversations and adds a layer of intellectual depth that matching decor simply cannot provide. You do not need to spend thousands of dollars at a luxury gallery to achieve this. You can frame your child's beautiful watercolor painting or display a collection of framed vintage letters. The key is that the items must evoke a feeling or a memory. When you hang art that you deeply love, it completely transcends whatever trends are currently happening in the design world. Your walls become a visual diary of your life and your travels. This deeply personal approach ensures your home feels authentic, heavily curated, and immune to the passing fads of commercial interior decoration. Curate your walls with absolute intentions. You can spend an absolute fortune on the most beautiful, classic furniture in the world, but if the lighting is harsh, the room will never feel timeless. Bright, cool-toned overhead lighting completely ruins the emotional atmosphere of a home. It casts unflattering shadows and makes everything feel sterile and anxious. To achieve that classic inviting warmth, you must master the art of ambient lighting. This means relying on multiple low-level light sources spread evenly throughout the room. Every space should feature a careful mix of floor lamps, table lamps, and wall sconces. By turning off the main ceiling fixture and illuminating the perimeter of the room, you create soft, glowing pockets of light that instantly draw people in. Crucially, you must ensure that every single light bulb in your house emits a warm color temperature. Aim for bulbs rated around 2700 Kelvin. This specific temperature mimics the golden hour of natural sunlight or the soft flicker of candlelight. It is incredibly flattering to skin tones and brings out the rich depths of your natural wood furniture. Furthermore, installing dimmer switches on every possible fixture is a mandatory step for a high-end feel. Dimmers allow you to control the exact mood of the room, adapting the environment from a bright workspace to a moody, intimate sanctuary in seconds. Great lighting is an invisible design tool. It makes the architecture feel softer, the colors feel richer, and the entire house feel like a deeply comforting, timeless retreat. A room that contains only static furniture and hard surfaces can easily feel stagnant. The most beautiful classic homes always incorporate elements of living nature to break up the rigid lines of the architecture. Adding organic greenery is a simple, highly effective way to breathe immediate life into any space. A large, sweeping indoor tree, like a classic ficus or an elegant olive tree, adds crucial vertical height and/or acts as a beautiful sculptural focal point. Smaller potted plants resting on bookshelves or trailing down from kitchen cabinets introduce a sense of wildness and unpredictability. Plants soften the harsh corners of a room and connect the interior environment with the natural world outside. They bring vibrant, earthy color into a neutral palette without committing to paint or loud fabrics. If you struggle to keep houseplants alive, you can achieve a very similar timeless effect by simply bringing in fresh branches from your yard. A large clear glass vase filled with overgrown wild branches sitting on a kitchen island or a dining table is an incredibly chic, effortless look. It feels abundant and welcoming. Stay completely away from fake plastic plants, as they introduce a stiff artificial energy that directly contradicts a timeless aesthetic. The slight imperfections of real leaves and the changing nature of living things provide a dynamic energy. Incorporating organic greenery is a completely timeless tradition that makes your house feel fresh, deeply cared for, and vibrantly alive every single day. The ultimate secret to a timeless home has absolutely nothing to do with how it looks in a photograph. It is entirely about how the space actually feels when you live in it. A house that is incredibly beautiful but deeply uncomfortable will always feel like a failure. Timeless design prioritizes human comfort above all else. This means choosing dining chairs that you can happily sit in for 3 hours during a long dinner party. It means buying a sofa that is deep enough for taking a nap, covered in a fabric that you are not terrified to spill water on. True elegance is relaxed, not rigid. A room should serve the daily habits of the people living inside it. If you love reading, your living room must have a dedicated, perfectly lit reading chair, with a small table nearby for your coffee. If you have dogs and children, a pristine, delicate white silk rug is a terrible choice that will only cause you daily stress. You must design for your actual reality, not a fantasy lifestyle. When a home functions perfectly and embraces the messy reality of daily life, it gains a sense of effortless ease. That relaxed, lived-in quality is exactly what makes a space feel welcoming and universally appealing. A timeless home is a sanctuary that supports your well-being, reduces your stress, and invites you to fully relax. Prioritizing pure comfort ensures you will love your environment for decades to come. Building a home that defies passing trends requires immense patience and deliberate choices. By focusing on classic silhouettes, natural materials, and authentic details, you create a deeply personal sanctuary that will look magnificent for decades. I hope these insights help you elevate your own living spaces. Which of these design principles resonates the most with your current styling goals? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.